Welcome back to my Creative Chronic life. Today I am back with a planner unboxing. I know it's been a while since I've done a sit down video, but what perfect way to be back by sharing an unboxing. Now I did actually remove the outer packaging because I had some other items that I will share at a later date, but this order is from Under the Rowan Trees, and that is a company here in the UK that sells stationery from all different shops all over the world. And I decided that I wanted to finally go ahead and purchase a traveler's notebook. This particular journal/notebook is unique to Under the Rowan Trees, and I actually picked it up for £15. Now, as you know, if you've been following me on social media, I absolutely love the traveler's notebooks, but I haven't really wanted to kind of spend the money and buy one, and £15, you can't really go wrong there. I also have some really exciting news to share with you today. I am now an ambassador for Under the Rowan Trees, their Rowan Berry subscription box. I'm so excited about it. I have shared a little bit more details on Instagram. So what this means for me is that I will receive a subscription box each month, which I will share on my social media account and create some journal pages. And I also will receive 10% commission each time my code is used. And what that will mean for you is that you will get a code that will give you 10% off purchases on the website at Under the Rowan Trees, and the code will be Nina10. I'll pop it up here on the screen as well for you. Before I actually purchased the TN, I did make my own version with some faux leather that I had at home. I just wanted to try it out and see how it felt. Don't get me wrong, it was lovely. I made the notebooks, I did everything that I needed to do, but it just didn't hold up well in my handbag. It ended up getting a little dog-eared, and here it's still good condition, but I just felt like it would get ruined and damaged in my bag. Here are the inserts that I made myself. Super cool. I did just do it on plain paper originally. I only had like a couple of pages, and I thought, you know what, let me just make a quick version, see if I actually even enjoy using this size, or maybe I want the passport size. And in reality, I really thought I would enjoy the passport size for travel reasons, but since having the kind of own version that I made, I realized that it would be much better to have a larger size, because it would fit in my handbag, maybe a little bit bulkier, but at the same time I need a little bit more writing space. So I did like the idea, but I think what really swayed me was that this type of a traveler's notebook is actually exclusive for Under the Rowan Trees. It is a vintage style travel journal made from vegan friendly PU leather. It comes with 2 notebooks, one lined and one dotted, and it also includes removable pockets for storing receipts, tickets and business cards, etc. And I just thought that was fantastic, because I have seen some that don't actually come with any type of notebooks or extra pockets. So I knew all I would really have to do is, if I wanted to, maybe add some inserts or add a little bit of decorations, and I would be really good to go. So yeah, I'm so pleased I got this. The postage was exceptional. It literally came, like I said, the next day, and I'm so pleased with it already. So what we'll do now is I will take away the plastic cover and we will get stuck in. So first off, what I noticed the most is that the feel of the leather is so soft and so smooth. I really expected it to have some sort of smell, but it doesn't. The size in itself, it says a standard TN notebook, but when I planned and measured mine, it seems like the measurements I have are a little bit larger. I'm not sure if that's really the case or not. And with the booklet already, there's 2 in there. You can see that it doesn't look quite thick. It's quite a standard size. It's got a beautiful embossed tree on the front, and then on the back it's plain. You do have this brown elastic that goes around, and a little strap to kind of, I think, stop the wear and tear of the book being closed or open. And then at the side you've got like a little, is it a charm? I've seen people add so many different charms to these, and it looks so pretty. It states that it's a refillable journal. It's got 60 pages times 2, so 120. The measurements are 103 times 190 millimeters. It's on ivory paper. You get lined pages and dot grid pages, which are 100 GSM, and that's 15 Great British pounds. I'm not quite sure what that is in like dollars or anywhere else, because I know that travelers notebooks are not necessarily made in the UK. I think it works around to about $20, something around the time, depending of the rate. I do really like this front part where there's this bit of leather, because I can imagine that over time with holding books and things it must get a bit ruined, but at least with this way the straps on it's really quite stretchy as well, so I'm hoping I can get more than 2 notebooks in. So as you open it, then you have, it doesn't quite sit right, the little strap, by the way. It's got like the same kind of leather in there, but it's the opposite side, so it feels quite suede. We've got this craft paper style notebook which is sewn. I love that some notebooks are sewn by hand. I used to do my own as well when I was younger. Maybe I should start doing them again, really. But automatically, as soon as you open up the journal, it just feels lovely. Feels the right size as well. Okay, so first book we have is the lined notebook. I love the fact that the strap has that little, I'm not sure what you call it, metal part on, because when I made my version I didn't have the clip, so you'd feel like a little bump in there. Quality feels lovely as well, so I like that first. So yeah, that's the first book we have. And then when we move on to the second notebook, you then have, it's attached. I'm not quite sure how both straps are attached, but we'll find out when I remove them. And this is the dotted page notebook. I'm honestly really quite surprised that both of these items are in here. And then we have that plastic wallet, which I presume is so you can add card slots or, you know, little stickers, and then at the end with the little zip pocket you can add your pens and pencils. I mean, that's absolutely brilliant, especially for like a beginner journal if this is the very first time. Separately, to buy these items, I mean, you're looking at, I think it's roughly about £3.75 per notebook, and one of these plastics again £3-4. So in itself you've already got a really great offer for £15. I would probably use them to just store some pens if I was using this on the go, which that's what my intention is going to be. And then of course you've got the back here, which again has that suede type of texture. Back is completely plain, which I love, and then we go back to the front again. So separate to the notebook, I was kindly gifted a few stationery items, so I will share them next. We now have a washi tape, which is beautiful. I realise here I have it the wrong way around because it's embossed. It's actually gold at the front, but I thought it's pretty, it'll match anyway, and I can take some washi and add it here, so it'll be much easier for me to carry around rather than having like rolls and rolls of washi tape. And then we have this glue stick in this beautiful pink colour. The glue smells divine. Honestly, it really smells lovely. I wish lipsticks or lip balms would come in this type of flavour, whatever it is. And then we have Under the Rowan Trees pen as well, and it's a really good pen. I've already tried writing in it and it's lovely. And then we have a pencil with the rubber at the end. I think I will just add these to the back of this journal anyway and keep them on the go, because then it will kind of all match anyway. So thank you so much for Under the Rowan Trees for gifting me these items. I really appreciate it. I've been really excited thinking about the ways I can actually set this traveler's notebook journal up, and I do have a few ideas which I will share with you next. Okay, so my thought process behind having this brown traveler's notebook is that I would love for it to have a pop of colour on the inside. So the colour I decided to go ahead with is purple, shades of lilac-y purple. So here I'm just going to gather all of my items together, and then we can run through with the different options. I have this kind of craft inside wallet which I think would be good to add into this TN journal, just so it gives me a little bit more space to use. And then these books I were kindly gifted by a friend, Beth Plans XO, and they are a little bit on the taller side, but I think that I may be able to just cut them down. Obviously one of them is like a little reading journal, I will add that in there, but I think that in reality I should be able to just cut them down, and I don't think it'd be so bulky. Yeah, there's only a small amount of space that's missing. You'll have to excuse the blurring from time to time. I'm really not sure why it does it. The focus was on and it still happens anyway. So these books were gifted to me by my friend. I think we're from a different type of subscription book reading journal, but perfect because I can use them with this setup right now. There's one with plain paper and then a dotted one. I think I'd probably go for the dotted one, maybe, because I'm not really a plain paper person. I know I did create my own last time. I think this as well, this craft kind of insert, would be great to add stickers. It's tall, but I don't think it would affect when I trim it down. You know, it's got like a little flap inside. I could always then cut the flap a bit shorter if I needed with just some scissors, but I think it should be fine because it sits right on the edge and it's not a big problem for me. I will just be taking stickers that I want to plan with on the go, rather than having like tall stickers or like an A5 sheet, because it's not going to fit anyway. I think what really started me off with the kind of purple theme is this kit from josephinebowdesigns. It's actually a hobo kit with the smaller ones, but I think that would fit as well, because I suppose stickers like this, they don't need a lot of space. And this is called Daydreamer, and I really think it's super pretty. I then have some acetate and vellum, which again is from josephinebowdesigns. It is from the Christmas advent calendar last year, so I think this will be good to insert too. We then have some washi tapes, and again all of these are from josephinebowdesigns. I've either purchased them or they've been in the advent calendar boxes, so I thought they would match for sure. I then have some other types of washi tape which are from the Coffee Monsters Co, and I picked them up from a fellow Facebooker, and I think they'd be good to have on that washi tape strip, just because then I've got some little cute washi on the go. I then have some cardstock which I think I want to use to cut up into the little squares, and it's like purple hot air balloons with a mixture of colour. You've probably seen me use this page before in a different setup when I did my health journal setup. Now a lot of these items I've either purchased or they've been gifted to me, or even like friends have sent them to me for free, so I'm not quite sure where a lot of these things are from, but those that I do remember I will mention. So again, like this washi background type cloud thing, again a friend gifted me that, so I'm not sure where it's from. Now these are from harrietwrightdesigns. These are from the July deco sheets from last year. You can find similar variations on harrietwrightdesigns even now for this year as well, so if it's something that you do like, pop over and have a look. And the same with josephinebowdesigns as well. She's still got the Daydreamer kit available in A5 and I think the Hobo Weeks as well, so you can go ahead and check them out. I'll leave the details in the description box below. I then have these calendar months, spring, summer, autumn, winter, which I think will go really well, and these July, August monthly calendars. I thought I could use them to set up like the beginning of the month. I know we're almost at the end of July, but I think I want to start using this journal straight away. We then have some date dots, and this is from Little Friendly Designs, and I thought I like the idea of them being larger rather than smaller, so that I can number the pages. We then have these Polaroid pictures, and they've got like the scenery and beaches and things like that, which I thought would be good to add. And these floral elements, some plain flowers which are lilac in themed. Now honestly, I didn't actually purchase anything. These are all items I've used at home. Be kind, be brave, be you, a sticker, and then sticker therapy. So like I said, some have been gifted. My 2025 planner, I mean, we're only halfway through the year, so I'm good to use that and then keep it moving forward, which I thought is a good way to help me moving forward. I then thought I maybe wanted to possibly go like the brown theme, and I found these stickers from my Patreon. It is from Scribbles Co. I'll put the details below, and it was a Patreon freebie which gets sent through via the post, and it's just different types of stamps with different places, and we get them sent to the post in like a little package. So I thought maybe I wanted to use that, so I just took them out anyway, just in case I wanted to change the idea and go a different way. Always best to have more than less, isn't there? And then it came in this little clear kind of bag, so I thought maybe I could just chop off the top and add little stickers in there as well if I needed to. I then have this plastic pocket, which I don't think I want to adhere to the actual planner, but maybe in one of the inserts, not the notebooks, because when notebook's empty I don't want to have to keep replacing it. It is a perfect size as well, so that's good. So we'll see, we'll decide on that later if I need it or not. I then have these stickers which I've never actually used. These came in a ring bound planner from Faco Papier, or no, sorry, they were a journal that I picked up and I never used them, so I thought maybe I can just trim down the edges and then use them just to mark things, like, because it's got a little key as well, it'll be good to keep, and I can then just use the key once the stickers are finished and write it in via pen. So these are all the items that I've actually gathered to set up my journal with me. So I think what I'm going to do now is take out everything and then possibly measure what I need to measure and then decide on a little bit of a plan. Now I may do a little bit of talking in between, but I think majority of it I will just add some music over and then come in as I need to. I think the first thing will probably be trying to decide how many notebooks I want to keep and if adding the lined paper is better. Now I do like the brown craft paper, but I'm thinking maybe I want to add like a cover over it. So I have this idea where I can either find some very light thin crafting paper which is coloured and just cover the front, or if I'm feeling like a little bit experimental, I could take the cover out. But the only problem is, because it's sewn by hand, I don't want to have to then get the sewing machine out to re-sew them. So I'm thinking maybe I want to just use some glue and cover them, because I can imagine I'm not going to be using these books for long. If I'm going to use them as a planner on the go, or hospital appointments, or things that I need to remember on the go, I think I'll keep one notebook for journaling, one for like appointments and day-to-day tasks and things that I need to remember and whilst I'm on the go. And then I think if I do add a third one, maybe that's where I can like plan the week ahead, meal prep, things like that. So we'll see how we get on. Now I think the next couple of clips you will see me like cutting paper, measuring things, doing things, but it's mostly off to one side, and that's because my camera is on an angle and I didn't realize it. So rather than you getting like the full scene, it's actually showing you just that it's the top half and then the bottom half is missing. That wasn't my intention, so I do apologize for that. It's actually been a long while since I've filmed anything sit down video like this. This year has been super difficult. My husband became ill this year. I'm not really going to talk about it too much, in terms of why. I've shared all of that over on my social media account, and I don't think it's fair because I don't want to trigger anybody, but he hasn't been well, so we spent a lot of time in hospital and I just didn't have the time to plan, and to be honest, my heart really wasn't in it. So planning, colouring, all the other things, YouTube, everything just took a step back. And rightly so, because it was very difficult for both of us, and then I myself became unwell. I'd have some procedures, so I've just been really taking it easy. I do share a lot of daily pictures and items and things on my social media account. I love to create shorts and reels, but I've not really been doing any sit down planning. This is probably one of my first videos that I have actually sat down and filmed, maybe in about 3 to 4 months. any other previous videos you've seen, they were pre-recorded, just by chance actually they were pre-recorded. I still do have a few to share, but I think I'll share them at a later date, which is my sticker album collection. And now I think I am getting back into the mood of planning, and the fact that I have now become a ambassador for Under the Rowan Trees, that means that I will be more likely to want to sit down and plan, because it's something new. It will help my mind be creative, and that me creating from the boxes that I receive each month, I think it will be much easier for me to get back into the swing of it. Don't get me wrong, when I was filming this tea and unboxing, I was excited. I haven't been this excited in a long time. I was really looking forward to seeing how it came out. Yes, I was tired, and you will see I've taken breaks, so like the sun starts to come down just a little bit on the day I filmed. It was raining, and now as I'm doing some of this voiceover, it's actually raining again. Hopefully you shouldn't hear too much of it in the background, because I purchased a new mic, so hopefully you shouldn't be able to hear too much of the background noise. But if you do, I apologize. It's now summer holidays for the children. There's lots of people out and about, even though it is raining. You wouldn't think so, but there is. So I hope you don't mind that, and if there are any mistakes and errors, I hope you will forgive me. As always, it's just because it's been a while, and not only that, I am still 3 weeks out post surgery, so I am a little bit sore, but I really wanted to do this tea and unboxing and filming, so I've just taken lots and lots of breaks. I actually did create a July kind of social media content planner theme with some leftover stickers, and I'll just put a picture up here for you now. And I absolutely loved creating this. It really felt easy to do. I had some stickers from designingliefde, which were like a freebie, and they had like little yellow sunflowers on there, and I thought, you know what, I'll just do a monthly setup and take it from there. But then I thought, you know what, let me just use I had a zebra midliner in the yellow color, and I thought that matches beautifully. And with that, then my mind planning juices started to flow, and honestly it was brilliant. I just felt so relaxed. I did a little bit each evening, just sitting down watching the telly or just in bed, and honestly it was brilliant. And before I knew it, I already had created so many different pages. I've shared it on the shorts reels, as well as my reels over on Instagram and TikTok. So depending on what social media platform you like to follow, you can choose where you'd like to watch it if you need some inspiration. But then that got me thinking that I used to spend such a long time sitting down to plan, and it would take me such a long time to do, and then I really wasn't feeling comfortable. And then I thought, you know what, this is the perfect way. Just a few simple stickers, maybe add some colour, some washi tape, and keep it like that. So then I decided that I wanted to again use some leftover stickers, and I planned in my Hobonichi A5 catch-all planner, and again I'll share a link for that below. And that was brilliant, easy peasy. And that's what I think moving forward I'm going to do, because I was putting a lot of pressure on myself and I just don't have the time. So I decided to use the content calendar as a way to plan ahead. So not just for the month of July, but August. Give me some ideas, how many weeks I want to plan for, how many videos I'd like to get out, because I really do enjoy doing YouTube and sharing on social media. It really helps motivate me, and it gives me a sense of purpose as well, which I really do enjoy. Just going back to the task at hand, as you can see now, I've decided here that I want to cover the notebooks, just because then I think that it would make me feel a little bit more comfortable. So I have some leftover cardstock from previous projects, and again it's this beautiful lilac colour. So all I'm doing is now measuring them up, and then what I will do is just glue them over the top. Like I said, I really didn't feel like getting the sewing machine out. If you don't know, I actually used to create handmade notebooks previously, many years ago, where I would take the time out and I would sew them, and I'd make journals, and I'd do lots and lots of variations. And I haven't done it for quite a while, but whilst I was doing this, I thought, you know what, the love of me creating notebooks with different types of cardstock, various papers, I would collect everywhere I went, and they were beautiful. Maybe if I can find a picture next time, I will share with you, maybe over on my social media, over on Instagram. So yeah. And I did also want to mention as well, I'm not sure if you're aware, I did actually create my own website, and that is mycreativechroniclife.co.uk. I wanted to actually do and share blog posts about my life. Sometimes I'd have questions about me as a person, then I'd have questions about my health, other times I'd have questions about what food I'm making, different types of recipes, what I'm enjoying reading, and I just wanted a place where I could share it all. So this then became a kind of dream where I wanted to create my own website, and that's what I did. So we have a few different sections on my website. We obviously have the home section, which just gives you a little bit of information about me. We then have a about me section, a blog where I share weekly blogs. Sometimes it's about just general day-to-day life. Other times it's about my comfort checklist, and the comfort checklist are things that help keep me comfortable in my life. It could be resets, it could be things that I do, various things that I like to get done, especially being somebody who's sick and is majority of the time unwell. I have to have these little spaces of motivation and bursts of energy. So the comfort checklist I created for myself, but of course I've shared with you too. And then we have obviously a page for YouTube recipes, and then we have a grab and go section where I share all my free printables with you. It can be from phone screensavers to printable calendars to content calendars. It could be little comfort checklists, how to. You can use them digitally and you can print them out on paper, or if you wanted to and you have some form of app on your phone, you could also use it for that too. Again, we have a space for socials and what different social media accounts that I have, because I know it's difficult to keep up, and maybe you want to follow me on some and not elsewhere, or maybe you want to follow me everywhere, so I've put them all in one place, a way for you to contact me. And then we also have a resources page where I share what my YouTube setup is like, what I'm currently like in terms of pens and pencils, what my favorite coloring books are, just a place where you can go if you have some general questions, which I tend to get a lot of. And then I also have another page which is a coming soon page for another secret project. Now, if you've been following me again on Instagram, I actually shared a little reel over on YouTube where I talked about my Colourful Confessions log. It is a place where I share my short stories, and it has been wonderful. I've had such wonderful feedback from all of you that have taken the time out to read. Now, necessarily it's not like a full chapter book or a story, but it is a story that is set in Willowmere, a fictional village. It's about the author who's called Nina in this fictional village, who works for a magazine, and people write into her and she technically gives them advice. But whilst she's doing that, we get to know a little bit more about Nina and then the other people that also live in the village. And the concept then, when I created it, I thought it was great, and I just really wanted to share. I wasn't in a place or space to think, well, let's turn this into a book or something. I just thought, no, I think it'd be so much fun for all of you to have a place where you could come and spend 5, 10, 15 minutes taking time away from all other social media accounts, coming, nip into my website and having 5-10 minutes of peace and quiet where you can then delve into the world of Willowmere. And that's why I created MCCL. Now, of course, we've got My Creative Chronic Life, which is also MCCL. So I did a little spin-off on that and then made the world of My Colourful Confessions log, which you can find over on my website. So I'll leave the links for all of them below as well. And if you do want to read episode 1, that's already been posted, which again is the story of Nina, the author in Willowmere. Now, this week I'll share an episode each week, so you'll get the story that the writer has written, and then the reader that's written in, you'll get that reply, vice versa. So not only will you get to know the author, you get to know the characters, the village in itself, and remember these are all fictional characters and stories. I had somebody ask me a question whether the author had written 7 books, and if that was me. No, that's the author, Nina. I maybe confused them by calling them Nina, but I thought it would be, easy for me to have to be able to just remember call her Nina, because I'm really bad with names. So we do have lots and lots of different things for different, if you want to join the comfort checklist, you can. If you want to check the normal blog post out, you can. If you want to read a story on MCCL, you can. You can also go ahead and subscribe to my email listing. I send 1 email out per week where I share things about what I've been up to this week, what I'm currently reading, what I like watching, if there's any kind of new foods I've tried or anything I'm craving in that moment. Currently it's been cherries. I've been obsessed. I purchased some ones from Aldi and they are so delicious, and honestly that's the little things that I like to share on this email listing. I just think it's a little bit of me to a little bit of you, and I've had wonderful feedback about that too. So if you want to share your email, you can either message me directly. I wouldn't recommend putting it under the YouTube page, no, but you can message me directly and I can add you manually. If you only want to be added just to receive email list, you can. If you want to know when my blog posts are coming out, as well as any of my reading section episodes, again, you can choose which one you want to be added into or not. I always double check and ask as well, and it's just 1 email per week. I thought it was also really important to give you the options if you only wanted to receive the email listing issue, or if you wanted to find out every time I uploaded a blog post, or let's say a comfort checklist blog post or a reading episode. You have the choice to choose which ones you like. So some have chosen just email listings, others have chosen both, some have chosen all, some people didn't choose the email listing at all. So I really thought it was important, because I don't want it to be something that you're not looking forward to receiving. I want you to be feeling like, oh, I've got an email from MCCL, I know what it's about the new blog post, or it's about the email issue each week. I really wanted to keep it as easy and accessible, because I can understand we all have a lot going on and I don't want to bombard you either, further. So if you do want to message me and let me know what your options are, I'll be more than happy to amend them as you like. I also wanted to mention what I will be sharing moving forward, and of course I really do try my best to adhere to a lot of this, but sometimes health wise I can't, and I'm just going to really go with the flow. I would like to ideally get out 2 videos per week, but at the moment I'm just going to post as and when I can, and then maybe moving forward I might be able to get into a better routine. So the upcoming videos I will be sharing is glossy box. I've got a few boxes that I've filmed, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to share them all in one video so I can be caught up, because I purchased some summer boxes and other things which I think you would be really interested in. And of course, I don't share makeup, I don't share other reviews, but I do really enjoy sharing the glossy box. I think it's fun, and I think that other people should know about it. It's a great way for people who are like me, that stay majority of the time at home. I've got an autoimmune condition, so I don't often go out to, let's say Superdrugs or Boots or Mac or anywhere to buy makeup. So this allows me to find new products and trial and test things in the comfort of my own home. So this is why I like to share glossy box. I do have some previous videos which I think would be nice to share, which are the sticker albums that I've got. I don't think I'm going to update them anytime soon, so I think for 2025 I think there's 3 more videos which I'll share. And then aside from that, of course, I have got Under the Rowan Tree berry box subscription, which I'll share too at some point at the end of the month. And then I wanted to do a planner little chat type thing. At the beginning of the year, I was really optimistic about having so many planners and different things, but over time, things have changed. So I wanted to just do an update on my planners. And of course, I always share colour along with me, but I haven't actually done any sort of colouring in my colouring books, and I'm not sure moving forward if I will continue to share as often as I was previous to obviously this bout of not being on YouTube. So maybe once a month, maybe twice a month is what I'm thinking. So I do want to have a chat about that, and then I also wanted to have a chat about adding a few different things. Like, I have various hobbies. It's something that I've always done since I was young. I can't just stick to one thing. I've got to have different things on the go, and that's mainly because, you know, the difficulties in pain and hands. So sometimes, for example, when I used to read physical books, I would read a physical book and then I would get bored, and then maybe I would go do some knitting or baking. Well, now that I'm unwell, I'm not able to do that because pain for me is a big thing. So now I listen to audiobooks, and then I read on my Kindle in bed because I've got like a little stand, and then one of them clicker things that I got from like my birthday book club, and little things like that I've had to adjust and change, which is absolutely fine. But I do think that sharing different hobbies is really, really good, because then other people, if they, you know, just generally want to get into knitting or get into crochet or get into embroidery, and I will share like the adaptations I use as well, because majority of the time, so even when I'm planning here, you can't see my adaptations. The way I have the table tilted so that it's facing towards me, there's certain space that I have to have. I've got, you know, 2 tables on either side that I try and prep as much as I can before I sit down. My husband, if there's anything so difficult like cutting wise or something I can't do, I couldn't put the staplers back into the book, so he actually did that for me. Like, it's very difficult to have disabilities and then still like plan or share as normal. So I thought it would be really important to share other hobbies too, and the way I do things, just so that other people who are in a position like me that have autoimmune conditions or disabilities, you know, are thinking about something but they're not quite sure how to navigate it. I thought that would be a good way to add that to my channel. And then the final thing is that I wanted to add the reading episodes from MCCL. I wanted to do like a little voiceover, just like I'm doing here now with this part of the blog you want to call it. I wanted to create a episode where I actually, you know, what I've written, I actually do a voiceover for. So I'm thinking about the best way to do that, because it's going to be quite long, maybe 30 minutes long. You know, I take my time to read and explain, and I want the readers and listeners to enjoy. So it's not just for people who read, people who want to listen instead, because I know sometimes people like immersive reading, so they may want to do both. So I'm thinking, should I put the words on the screen, but then I also want to be able to take you places through my reading. So I'm still in the process of doing that. Most likely my episodes, 1, 2, 3 and 4 will come first, and then the visual aspects of the stories will come after. So yeah, there's lots of things that I want to talk about and have a chat about, but I'll do that in depth maybe in a couple of weeks time, we'll see. And of course I do like to still share my normal standard planning, but I don't think it's going to be another sit down video. I think that's mostly going to be like shorts and reels. So again, if you want to follow me, you can. So what we'll do now is we will go back to the current video and the planning for my TN. So I have covered all of the notebooks, I have put down all the stickers, and all I'm really doing now is making sure that these little square different coloured card that I've put into the wallet actually fit. I had to do a few amendments, which is fine. And as you can see here now, I actually had to put a light on because all of a sudden it started raining out of nowhere. It got so dark, even though it was like the middle of the afternoon and it was so dark. So I've popped on a light, so if you can see like shadows and things, it's just the lighting. It's absolutely fine. Okay, now so we're almost done. I thought I wanted to add this Polaroid to this craft paper because you can actually see the design on it much better. So I think what we're going to do now is assemble it all back together. I did actually struggle a little bit trying to figure out how I would add 3 books because it's easier to add 2 books. Don't you think these are so pretty? So I've covered all 3 books. So we've got 1 lined and 2 dotted. Obviously one of them is cream paper, one of them is plain paper, the one that was given to me as a friend. So that's all 3. I'm going to add the vellum paper as like a background to the planner, so when you open the planner and writing in, you're not necessarily going to ruin the suede on the inside. So I wanted to just add that, but also I thought it would look super pretty. And then the 3 notebooks on the side, I've done one with my 2025 planner, and then it says sticker obsessed, and then we've got one that's got flowers. So the one that has the flowers in is the lined paper. The one that says my sticker something is the lined paper. That one is going to be like a daily journal or a journal on the go. And then the my 2025 planner is what I will plan every day or every week. And then the one that's got the flower on, the third one, that's just going to be like a little bit of a catch-all planner. I did struggle a little bit getting this into the planner with the elastic because I think I did it just a little bit too big, so I cut that down and I did a little snip at the top so that the elastic could just sit in the side, and I added that. And then the craft type insert, I added that too, and I just think it really comes so well together. So the next couple of clips are just me really trying to figure out the best way for me to add things without it feeling too bulky. I did realize the notebook that I actually cut down to size was still a little too big, so I went off behind the scenes and cut it down later on in the evening, and then I rounded the corners of the notebooks as well, but you won't see that in this video. You'll probably see it in like a picture somewhere else, just because it was easier to do whilst I was sat relaxing rather than sitting on this particular chair at my desk, because after a while it just becomes too painful. So you will see amendments of that, and then I did add some different variations of pins to the front. Again, I've shared pictures of on my Instagram, and if I can find one I will pop one at the end for you here. I really don't know whether it was me just adding too many things in, but I just couldn't get it to sit right. There was something just about it, but I realised in the end, the plastic little wallets at the end, you have to really like put through the elastic to make it a little bit easier, if that makes sense, and that's what I did. But yeah, after I did that, it was easy to access to open, easy access to close. So what I thought I would do now is I thought I would add and take the time out to add some of this washi tape to the little washi card. The clips I actually lost as I was processing because they were so blurry, so you won't actually see me physically doing that, but I've just shared like adding a star one, and now you can actually see the gold foil here on the front as well. I also wanted to add in all of the stickers just to see which ones would fit and which ones wouldn't. I did in the end go and find some leftover, I can't think of the technical word for it, so you know when you peel off the front of the stickers you're left with the backing. Well, I always keep the backing for things like this, where if I want to take some stickers on the go I can. So in the end what I did was I cut down some of the pages to size and then added the larger A5 sheets. I know I'm going to use them and I want to keep them on the go, so I thought I would just do that now all in one go, so it'd be easy for me to just really get started in there. And like you can see, this is a little bit large, but again I went back in and I trimmed them down, so I'm just checking to make sure that all of the things that I have and need are correct before I go ahead and do the final flip through. I also was really stuck on what pen to use, so I have this Lamy fountain pen that's in like a light cream colour, and I thought, oh, would it really match the exterior being like cream brown, that type of colour, but in the end I decided not to, and I thought that I wanted to accentuate it with a gold pen. I have one from harrietwrightdesigns and it says write your story on there. Again, I think it was from an advent box, and I thought that I would go really well. My actual favourite pens that I like to use are like the Sarasa dry pens or something. I'll just keep one of them in the back, but for it to look kind of pretty, I thought it'd be great for me to add that in there. Okay, so we have a little bit of a big jump in the lighting because I didn't realize again that it had gone dark, so I've turned the big light on now. So now we are coming to the flip through, and I love it. So we've got the vellum page, this book, and then we've got a little section for the stickers. Starts off with my 2025 planner, which is the dotted notebook. And then we go on to the next planner, which is just going to be a catch-all planner. And at the end here, I think I'm going to just add like washi tapes or maybe some more stickers or things like that that are easy to just, you know, access and need at the end. Pocket wise, I'm not sure what I'm going to put in there at the moment. I think I'm just going to use it for decoration. And then the sticker therapy book is just the lined paper where I will do like journaling when I'm out and about or what I see. And then this end wallet, again, I'm going to add scissors and pencils. And then we come to the end, which is the last vellum. I think I love it. I really, really do. Once I sorted out like the sticking out planner part, it was perfect, and I've used it since. I will do a kind of setup, first time setup, I don't know what the word is for it, monthly planner, monthly setup or a daily setup, something along them lines, but probably in a reel or a quick video on TikTok. But yeah, that's what it looks like, and I love it. I'm so glad I came across this on Under the Rowan Trees website, and like I said, it was £15, and of course I used my code Nina10 to get 10% off, so which made it a little bit more cheaper. And it's the best thing I've purchased. I think moving forward I am going to probably want to purchase another one for inside the home, and maybe next year. Is it too soon to say that this might be my planner of choice? I love that I can add different inserts. I love that I can add different variations of colors and themes if I wanted to change it out. It's not the end of the world, because there's nothing to say, well, this is summer, this is winter, etc. I do love the light pop of lilac, because you're not going to expect it looking at the exterior of this planner. You're just going to think, oh, I wonder if it's just got some craft notebooks in there. And I love the fact that you can see if you are looking at me, I don't know, out and about, or let's say if I was to get the train ever, which I don't, but people I've seen on the train that share their TNs, and if you opened it, you'd see like a little pop of a colour, and I love that for me. But yeah, I am so pleased about all of it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment box below. I am on the Facebook group for the UK Travellers Notebook group, so if you do want to join me there, I'll be sharing a lot more there. But other than that, don't forget to use the code Nina10 for 10% off, and the website is Under the Rowan Trees. Again, I'll link everything in the description box below. And if you're not already following me on my social media accounts, you can go ahead and follow me at My Creative Chronic Life. All my details are on my website, mycreativechroniclife.co.uk, and don't forget to click the subscribe button so you receive notifications of upcoming videos. Thank you so very much for joining with me. I hope you've enjoyed this chat video. You know, I usually just pop over some music and I get stuck in, but I thought I owed you all a little bit of a catch up. But once again, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.